Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Solo Leveling episode number 5 reaction. Okay, the previous episode we got to see Song go and fight the dungeon, the enemies in the dungeon, the newest dungeon that he has unlocked, the instance dungeon as they call it. And there was quite a few enemies. He fought those like steel fanged lichens, a few of the like the goblin kind of things that came, and got a lot of mats, got a lot of level ups and quite a few abilities, and he became strong enough to fight the dungeon boss, which was like a snake kind of thing, a big one. And yeah, he was able to defeat it. He struggled a bit, obviously, because it was a little bit higher level than him, but he did it, and finally he was able to get a new weapon, a good one. And not only that, he got like, I think like some kind of an ability potion, like a potion or something, which has like a demerit, but it has a good merit as well. And he's kept it for now, just in case he has to use it later. Now he's not going to use it because it has like a permanent debuff that it'll give. So yeah, while all of this was happening, Juhi was called in to help with a dungeon break, and after completing his own dungeon, Song goes and sees the situation, and he literally throws his sword towards the golem or whatever that was, and broke its defense so that the E rank hunters can take care of it. And yeah, because he's so strong now, he obviously has defeated like so many like dungeon character, like enemies, and like even a boss character. So yeah, so there you go. So let's see what happens today. What more like stuff he like discovers about this, and how much more broken he gets as a character, how much his ability goes stronger and stronger. So episode 5, let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here, sync it to whichever is a preference, and let's begin. Right, here's the countdown. Three, two, one, go. Oh my god. Yeah. Bro, in the hospital. But because he's putting everything in strength, that's why. Exactly. Oh, he's doing his. He's doing his. Oh boy. Bro, just imagine putting ability points. Um. Okay. Oh, discharge it. Well, you see, like, look at him. Obviously, he's feeling perfect. Just look at him. Yeah, bruh. Well, yeah. Good God. Oh God. Ah. Right. News Ultra Morning. Oh, Take You Home. Is an S ranker? Yep. Well, probably what everyone does. Yeah, that as well. True. He was a firefighter. Uh, School time. Let's go. She's like, what happened in the hospital? Bro, what did they feed you? Yeah, a little. Oh, yeah, that's true. I don't think so. Yeah, that's not how it works. But, his voice even changed. Hmm. It's like puberty hit him the second time. What the hell? He's already done it. It's barely the morning. Yeah. Level 18. Okay, strength 48. Strength. What else? Okay, that's true. Maybe dexterity or something? Yeah, agility. Hmm. Oh, that is perception, I see. I was wondering what is PER? It's perception. Nice. Okay, who's this? Oh, Rent. Okay, I'm sure he'll have enough because he has been grinding. Yeah, he's been grinding. He can probably sell those for like money. Let's see. That is not a reawakening. That's something different. Yep. Recruiting healers. Hmm. That is true. So I guess he needs to go to an E rank dungeon. No one's going to take him otherwise. Yeah. Exactly. And they even like Wolf Assassin. And they even checked him in the hospital. They saw that nothing has changed. Yeah, so exactly. Oh, oh he's gone to the no. Oh, he done his running. Yes. Nice. Damn, he really grew taller. Yeah. Not anymore. Meet the quota. Okay. Yeah, because in sometimes like you have to fill the. There you go. You have to fill the empty seat. What? Oh, oh, that's okay. That's good then. Okay. Sub D ranks. Carry. Yup. Carry the baggage. You can probably carry it with one hand or something. Oh, they're going without healers. Ah, that is a bad idea. Right. Never do that. Yeah. Okay. I guess you have to sign these, however. Who? Ah, okay. Okay. He has such a nice armor, yeah. He's a pay to win player. He spent real money on it. Yeah, you're a D ranker. Nah, it's fine. Hmm. What? Damn. Bro. What is the. Right. Hmm. Oh god, here we go. Well. Yeah, okay. I see. Well. Yeah, he's a hunter as well. Oh, so this is the first. I guess that makes sense. He has gone in the instance dungeon. However, we don't know what rank the instance dungeon was. It's probably D or something. Okay. Oh no, this is bad. Yeah, immediately giving out red flags. Okay, like, ah, I see. That's handy. I don't. Oh, they're hiding. They're keeping an eye on us. Oh god, that's bad. Ooh. Yeah. We can hear the sound. Yeah. Oh, damn! There's a lot of them. Wait, weren't in the first episode? I remember like the S rankers were fighting like a group of ants. Oh, he used taunt. Yes. Yeah, he's a tanker. That's why. Nice. Okay. Ooh. AoE attack. Nice. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, his high level weapons and yeah. Yeah. He just kicked it and just Yep. Nice. Me too. Well, a hunter's instinct. Yeah, he has perception. He has put points in perception as well. That's why he was able to detect them. Hey, well, there's one that we kicked. No, it was. Oh wait. Oh, I thought it was him that he kicked. Hmm. Oh wait, is this? Oh no. Are these guys like? Yeah, like do they like take people like him inside the dungeon, like rich people who have like really good gear, and since they don't have healer, if they die, they get to keep their equipment or something. I don't know. That's how they. I don't know. What is happening? Damn. Oh, this guy. What the hell? Damn, that's his training. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's just these guys seems very suspicious. Yeah. So they literally bring in people. They probably die, and they take their materials like the stuff. Hmm. Oh, it's like spider, a spider or something. Like looks like spider webs, a cocoon. Yeah. Oh, mana crystals. All of them at the same place. 1 billion. Illegal stuff. Oh no. This is gonna be bad. Hey, nah. Oh no, they won't be happy about this. Yeah, they're planning to kill us at the end. And their excuse will be, oh, we didn't have a healer. Or they plan on sacrificing them or make them as bait. Yeah, this is bad. Ah, yeah, well, yep. These are some shady bunch of people. Yeah, with that face. Yo, that big smile is suspicious. He is too suspicious. Hmm. Yeah. Exactly. Like, why do they need people? There you go. Well, yes. Yeah, and they'll be like, oh, we didn't have a healer, so we couldn't do anything to save them, unfortunately. Wow. No, no, they would have done it either way, not because of that. Yeah. And we need to deal with this. Hmm. Wow. Yeah, but it's way weaker than that. Yeah. Way weaker than that thing. Oh, yeah, he brought out his new weapon. Yes. Oh, this weapon is a broken weapon. It like applies bleed on the enemy, and the bleed is like 1 HP per second or something like that. I remember. Or something like that. It's crazy. Okay, that is it. That was episode 5 of Solo Leveling. So, this episode, we get to see Jinwoo going to a new dungeon because obviously he needs money for the rent. And yeah, coming across some scammers. Literally, these people are scammers. They're even worse than scammers. They actually, like put these unsuspecting people who come to help them out and like join them in the raid. They trick them, put them in the dungeon and make them as bait and cut their losses, like cut off them completely, probably grab their like their equipment as well and sells them later on. And that's how they do it. So basically the way they operate is basically there's 6 people, they need 8 people to join, otherwise the dungeon won't open. So they put out advertisement, new people come in, and sometimes they get lucky and get people like this guy who has like really good like equipment and stuff. And that's like extra points for them because they after they basically abandon them, they'll probably keep the equipment as well. And not only that, their what's that word, their share of the stuff that they're going to get is going to not get divided into 8 parts but 6 parts, and they won't even have to pay them. So that's what it is. Now here's the thing, I'm guessing they probably did this multiple times. I do wonder why the Hunter Association still hasn't figured out that these people are criminals. Like, shouldn't they easily realize? Because like any party that goes along with them, they end up going missing. So what's up with that? Wouldn't they be suspicious? They'd be like, what the hell is going on? This party always takes in 2 members, and every time they come back from the dungeon, the 2 of them are either missing or they're dead. So maybe something shady is going on. Like, don't they get don't they get that feeling, and don't they like investigate this group? I don't know. I'm not really sure about that because it seems like they've done this before as well. So shouldn't the Hunters Association be very much like alert, and wouldn't they be like, yeah, you know what? Since all these like like every time they go to a dungeon, they always end up missing 2 members, and it's always the same members, the new members. Let us keep an eye on them and see if they're actually a shady bunch, if they're doing something like bad. Like, yeah, I feel like shouldn't they do that? Because, but I don't know. Either way, this is what they have been doing, and this time they have like because of the advertisement song, and this guy, both of them ended up joining them. And yeah, there you go. So now they abandon them basically, and they are expecting them to die. And then they probably are going to take all the mana crystals, take their materials, take the equipment, and just leave them over there. And after coming outside, they'll probably be like, oh, we lost them, or they went missing, or something like that. That'll be their excuse. And they can even say that, oh, like we don't have a healer, so yeah, couldn't do anything about it, sorry about it, something like that. They can have an excuse. So there you go, that is what they do. A bunch of bad people, obviously, but unfortunately this time the person they have trapped is actually a player, which is Jinwoo, and he can definitely take care of this, or at least I hope so, because he have fought that snake before. So this is a C rank boss, so I'm guessing this will be a little bit more difficult, but he has plenty of ability points put in strength on all the other stats as well. He's level 18, so I think he can handle it. And he's not alone, he has another person, even though he's also like a E rank or D rank, whatever. I think he's a D rank. Yeah, he's a D rank. It's fine, like no like some help is better than none. And he has some really good armor and some really good weapons which will be able to help him out as well. And kind of like that. So yeah, there you go. That's what happened in today's episode. And obviously from the beginning they were shady. Like like as soon as Jinwoo was like, you know what, something's weird about this group, And I guess, like, the first thing that he realized was weird and was that they talk about them doing this multiple times before, but they're missing two members. That's like the most suspicious part. People, like, seeing them, you can see that they have been along with each other for a long time and they're actually teammates. So someone like that, a group like that, which have been operating for a long time and which have like a set number of group of people, missing two members is very weird, because if they have been operating for a long time, they definitely wouldn't be missing two members, because like, yeah, like, I'm sure someone would have come and joined them. But that was one of the biggest red flag that probably Jinwoo was able to understand. He was like, yeah, this is weird, because like a veteran group like this, it seems they have been doing this for a long time. A group like that having two less members, why? you know how is that even possible? And why do they even do that? Couldn't they just add two members? So yeah, that was like one big red flag. Another one was like when they were like, oh, we don't have healer, unfortunately, which is again weird, because usually most teams have healers. And yeah, like, it's just not really a good sign. And that's why Jinwoo was very alert from the beginning. And yeah, turns out his suspicions were correct. These people are a shady bunch. Right. But like, obviously we know how this is going to go down. Not to worry. I'm sure he'll take care of this monster. And then I wonder what everyone else is going to do. They're going to come in expecting them to have been dead, but then they'll be like, "Oh my God, you guys are alive." So then what? I do wonder. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, and that was this episode. A few of the interesting things of this episode, not interesting thing, but kind of funny sections. For example, the first section where everyone, the nurses were like, damn, this guy in the hospital, he got jacked up. Like, how is that even possible? And, and yeah, that part was kind of funny. And you can see that he is becoming very efficient with his tasks. Like, he's like doing the different things. Like early in the morning, he's probably completing everything. And then he literally completed the 10-kilometer run while going from one place to another. Like he's becoming very efficient with stuff, like with these things. So yeah. Not only that, I thought they were going to show us, like, the materials that he got and that he sold, and he got those currency, those gold currency that he got. I thought they were going to show in today's episode that he probably sold those and he'll have a lot of money from that. But they didn't show anything like that. I'm guessing that'll probably like maybe he'll sell them later, or then he'll realize like something like, oh, these sell, because like the monsters that he defeated a lot of monsters, if you remember, in the previous episode, and he sold them and he got that like one currency, like a gold currency or whatever, and he just assumed that it was not that expensive. It wasn't that much. It didn't have that much valuation. He just assumed that. So we still don't know what valuation that is in actual currency. So I feel like he's probably going to realize later on that these things actually have a big valuation, because just think about it. He got those things from an instance dungeon. That in itself is such a rare thing. So I'm sure the monsters, the drops that they drop, the materials that they drop, they definitely are going to be a bit expensive, or I don't know. So I feel like he's probably going to have a lot of money when he realizes that, oh, like, something like that. I don't know, but either way, yeah. So that was this episode. Good episode. This was basically an episode which is building up what was going to happen in the next one. And the next one, like, everything's going to go down, and he will probably see him fight against this spider boss. So yeah. And another thing I forgot to mention, that this guy, even though like this new guy, even though he is like a little bit of an amateur, he just like got those weapon and the armor by paying for it. He doesn't have the skills to accompany it. Even though that's the case, he seems like a nice guy, because even like at the end, you see when he was like, oh, that boss monster, he's going to attack us. And he was like, oh, Jimu, like, go behind me, I'll try to stop it and stall it, because obviously he thought that, yeah, Jinwoo is an E ranker. So he was like, yeah, I need to help him out. I need to like shield him from danger, otherwise he'll get hurt. So in such a situation, like, even though he knows that he himself is nothing in front of this huge monster, this enemy, he still tried to like shield him and protect him, which is kind of nice. You can see that he's a nice person, in the inside. So yeah, that's kind of good. Like, he actually, even though he himself is pretty much in a very difficult situation, he was trying to like motivate and trying to like shield Jinwoo, even though he also knows that if he gets hit once by that spider, he's gone immediately. Like, yeah. But anyways, yeah, that's what is happening. Let's see. Right, that was this episode. Now I'm going to talk about this episode scene by scene. So, first section, you can see the nurses. They're talking about Jinwoo, and they're like, "Damn, like, you seen that E ranker?" Yes. And obviously they're also surprised. They're like, one day he came and he wasn't like this. Like, what happened? Every single day he's been training and everything. Maybe that's why he changed. But one of them were like, yeah, even though that's the case, like, it's very fast. Like, it's impossible to like change that fast. Um, and they're also very surprised. They're like, yeah, how is this happening? But they're literally seeing him transform in front of their eyes. So either way, what's funny? This guy, Jinwoo, since he hasn't ever been in a situation like this before, he's completely clueless about what's going on and how other people are perceiving him. He's very casual. He doesn't even understand, like, he doesn't even understand the effect that he is, like, like the aura, the effect, whatever he is doing to other people, how he's influencing other people. He himself doesn't realize that. And he was just like, like training in his room, and one of the nurses were like, comes in, and she's like, oh my god, what the hell? She gets embarrassed and everything. Either way, it's a day of discharge, so he's like, all right, you know what, that's good, so I can go back and do my thing. And the nurse is like, can you please give me your number? He's like, oh, it's probably because of the test results. Okay. That's what he thought. Again, like I said, he has never like come across a situation like this before ever in his life. So it's pretty normal for him to think that, oh, she's probably asking for like like maybe like emailing me the test like the test results or something like that, and how to contact me. That's probably why she's asking my number. And he just gave it to her. Right, either way. So there you go, that's that. Now, after that, we get to see this guy here. What's his name? The special guest in the news, Baek Yoonho. And he is an S ranker, one of the only 7 S rankers in the country. And the news anchor is like, oh, like normal typical questions. She's like, oh, what do you do in your like in your day off? And he's like, oh, you know what, I train. I need to keep those skills in check, like I just have to keep practicing, otherwise I'm going to let down my teammates. I cannot do that. And she's like, wow, that is so good, like a normal conversation in what happens. And we see Song's sister is like watching that. This part is so funny because when Song comes out, she's like, what the hell, like you've changed, what, like you have quite a bit of muscles, you never were like this. And she's also like, you also got taller, like what's up with you? And yeah, it seems that's also the case. I didn't realize that he did grow taller as well. I'm guessing that's the result of putting everything in strength, maybe. No, that's the result of putting points in vitality, I'm guessing, because strength won't really make you grow tall. Vitality will probably make you grow tall. Like vitality, I'm guessing, is probably something that strengthens your body, something like that. So yeah, I'm pretty sure because he put his like points in vitality as well, he probably grew taller, and the muscles are probably because of strength. So yeah, it's like a mixture of strength and vitality. That's why he's like going taller and growing stronger or something like that. Either way, I love how his sister's like, oh, I guess men keep growing even when they're adults. I don't think that happens. Not, at least it never happened with me. So, yeah, I think that's misinformation, but whatever, whatever you think. But yeah, anyways, so and she like goes to school and Song is like, oh, take your umbrella and everything, stuff like that, right? And after she goes to school, Sung is like, right, let's see. He looks at his status and he is level 18. His title is Wolf Assassin. He has 2200 HP, 350 mana. Strength is 48, Vitality 27, Agility 27, Intelligence 27, Perception, that's Perception 27. And he's thinking, he's like, all right, you know what? Let me put the extra points in somewhere. And he's thinking what to do. And he's like, all right, you know what? Let me put it in Agility. I think in the end he puts it in Agility, doesn't he? Let me check. Yeah, he puts it in Agility. No, he kind of like redistributes it. Like he puts a little bit in Strength, quite a bit in Agility, and a little bit in Perception. There you go. So that's what he's doing. Now here's the thing. I'm not really sure how this works, but as far as I understand, obviously strength is going to increase your strength. You're going to get stronger. Agility is going to make you more agile. You can run and like dodge quickly. You'll probably be able to dodge attacks and be very fast. Use like fast attacks and stuff. That's literally agility. Perception, as he says, perception as it as far as I can understand, is basically your ability to sense what's happening. Like for example, we saw later on where he sensed in that dungeon those ants coming down, and he sensed them from a long way ahead. That is because of perception, I'm guessing. Vitality is, like I said, it's instead of defense, she this solo leveling has vitality. So vitality is a little bit different than defense, I guess, because defense is just defense, how much you're able to stop yourself from getting hurt, literally how defend how strong your defense is. However, vitality is a bit different. As far as I know from games and stuff, vitality increases your health, and also it increases your ability to not fall sick and stuff like that, basically things pertaining to your body. So that's why I said the reason why he probably grew taller is because of his vitality. Because vitality helps your body to be healthy. It makes your body more stronger. That's why your HP increases as you increase your vitality. And sometimes in some cases it comes with the additional benefit of you not getting sick or you not getting that much debuffed. Like sometimes your enemies attack you and like might try to poison you or put some kind of debuff on you, like curse, maybe burn and stuff like that. In some games I've seen like vitality is able to ward that off at least a little bit, puts a little bit resistance. So debuff resistance it also provides sometimes in some games, and not in every game. So it depends. But obviously the common thing in vitality in every single game is that increasing vitality immediately means your health is going to increase. So he has like 2220 health now. If he puts like a little bit point in vitality again, from 2220 it's probably going to increase. That's how you increase your health, by putting points in vitality, stuff like that. And obviously intelligence is directly connected to mana or MP, as he says. So people who use magic, they need to put on their points in intelligence. So obviously he's not putting his points in intelligence because he's not a mage or anything, but it is going to help him build mana. So I'm guessing people, obviously, like different people have different builds. For example, he looks like a character who's like a fighter or like a warrior. So that's why he's putting everything in strength, a little bit in agility, a little bit in vitality and stuff like that. So that's how his build is. A tanker or a tank probably puts, obviously not probably, definitely puts everything in vitality. So the vitality will be boosted. Their Strength will be a little bit boosted, agility will be kind of a little bit boosted, and that's it. These are the three that a tank will like focus in. People who are mages, that is uses magic, or like healers, they put everything on intelligence. So the intelligence will be beefed up. Strength will be very low. They'll not, obviously they won't really put much in strength, because for a mage strength is useless, it doesn't work. Agility, maybe. Perception as well, I guess. For a mage, perception is important, and vitality as well. And for someone like a thief or a rogue, you know, someone like that, most of the points will go to agility, perception, and strength. Vitality and intelligence will be low. So it depends in everything. So he, like, looking at him, obviously his build reminds me of a warrior or like a fighter or something like that. Since his strength is beefed up, agility is quite there, perception is a little bit, and vitality and intelligence are the lowest. That's why he's more of a fighter, like a warrior or something. Okay, anyways, so after that he gets called, and he's like, like they want the rent. So he's like, all right, you know what, I need to get a job and everything. So he's checking out the listings, and he's like, all right, you know what, let's go to this one. And he chooses one, and he comes to the place where he has been, told to come. And we see this group here, the group of C and D rankers, 6 people. And the leader, he's like, oh, hey there, and he's like, okay, so we'll be joining this, and we need to just fill the empty seats, otherwise we cannot join the dungeon. Now this is another thing which happens in MMOs and and other JRPG games, and sometimes especially games which have the co-op feature. Like during certain dungeon raids, you have to get a minimum quota of players. Like, unless and until you have 4 players, you won't be able to join this dungeon, something like that. Like in some games they do allow you to solo the dungeon, but in a few games they don't allow that at all. Unless and until you are able to get that quota, like 4 people, you won't be able to do it. Which in some games like that does that. It's a little bit annoying, because most of the time, at least quite a few times, you won't really have everyone. Maybe you'll have only 3 players, and you literally cannot do the dungeon because it's going to bar you from doing it unless and until you have 4. So those type of games are a little bit annoying sometimes, but some games do allow you to go in and solo the dungeon. If you're that strong and you have only 1 player and there's like a minimum quota of 4, if you want to do it, you can still do it in some games. In some games they don't allow you, they literally bar you from doing it. This is one of those instances, I'm guessing. That's why he's like, oh, we need 8 members, otherwise we cannot join this. And they'll literally be sitting, they won't be able to do it unless and until they are able to fill the seats. So that is why they have hired these people. Either way, he's like, since you're an E ranker, we won't really share our materials with you, but we'll give you this amount of money. So that was the contract. So he signs the contract as well, and we get to see this guy here. The D ranker, what's his name? What's his name? Oh, Yu Jin-ho. That's his name. And he's also here to meet the quota. And obviously the first thing that he notices, he's like, damn, a D ranker with this gear? This kid's family must be rich. And yeah, obviously he's a pay-to-win player. We have these type of players, obviously, in gacha games or MMOs. Literally, people who are not really that strong, but they have like the best of like gears and materials, and they literally have paid through the whole thing. Just use original currency. Obviously, it's not like that here. It's literally he has paid for the best of the armors and stuff, even though he's a D ranker, and he just has money. That's it. And he's like, oh, don't worry, this is the first time with the seed rank dungeon. Don't worry about it, I'll help you. Right, anyways, so yeah, and he will be carrying the baggage. So there you go, like they start the quest. So it's a big like a dungeon gate, and here You can see Yu Jin-ho is kind of a little bit scared. He's like, damn, it's a big one. However, Sung is like, don't worry. Like the how big the dungeon gate is doesn't matter. The amount of mana there is, that's what the hunter associations go and judge, and that's how they base their rankings in. So a dungeon can be this big. However, it can be a D or a E rank. It doesn't matter. It depends on the mana inside. And he's like, damn, you know quite a bit. And he's like, yeah, I've been doing this for a while. Right. Anyways, so they go in and they immediately realize something is weird because there's literally nothing, no mana stone, nothing, no monsters. It's just empty. And they even cannot like perceive where the enemies are. So they're like, okay, this is a little bit weird. And as they go in, Sung kind of realizes something is weird and he can feel something. And he hears like the buzzing sound of like the insects, and he's like, oh, it's probably ants. And he's like, and they're here. So they come from top, and he immediately warns everyone, and everyone just keeps fighting, like, starts their battle. So basically, how this group works, how they do their stuff is obviously the leader, he's a tank, he taunts the enemies, and the enemy starts attacking him, and the fighters, like the swordsman, maybe the mage, they fight and attack while the enemies are being taunted by him. Now here's another thing you have to remember, like a few people might think that, wait, they don't have a healer, so they just base everything on potions and stuff. Yeah, obviously they have potions, so they use potions to heal themselves. But one thing I feel like, like sometimes, like, this is how it goes. Tanks have abilities which self-heal. In some games, some tanks have abilities where they can self-heal themselves. They cannot heal others, but they can self-heal. So basically, in some games, I've seen tanks who obviously every tank can taunt. They taunt the enemy to attack them, and the enemies attack them. He gets the hit, his HP goes down, and he uses like a self-heal ability, which automatically heals him. And all the other team members, obviously, since they have lower aggro, like the enemies don't attack them, they attack him. And he gets damaged, but he self-heals himself using his skills. And the other members, they attack the enemies and take them out. That's how a lot of groups do their job. And that is why you don't even have to eat drink a potion. You can keep going because most of the tanks have a self-heal ability which they can use. I'm not sure if he has any of that here, but in a few games they do have like a self-heal ability, so they don't even need to use the potions they have. All they need to do is use taunt whenever there's enemies, and the enemies will attack him and the other players will be able to deal with them, something like that. So it works out. Sometimes without a healer it also works out. If it's not a that high level like dungeon, you can make do without a healer sometimes, if you have like a really good tank with you. So it depends. It all depends, and it also depends on your teamwork as well. Yeah. And this is a lot of things you need to keep in mind. For example, since like a tank should be like the highest level, because there's a lot of things about this, like in some games the way this works is like every character has an aggro basically means how you will attract the enemies. So if you have high aggro, the enemies will first attack you. So most of the games, higher level means higher aggro. So if you have higher level, like you literally attract enemies towards you, something like that. Or I guess it depends sometimes, because some enemies seeing a higher level, they'll just run away from you. But most of the time, higher level kind of means like a higher aggro. So I guess you need to also manage your levels like that. If your tank has a lower aggro than like your fighter or something, like your healer. For example, if your healer has a higher aggro than your tank, then every single time the monsters are going to attack the healer. And your healer will die the first thing, and you'll just be like, you'll be left without a healer. It's a problem. So there's a lot of things to think about that as well. That is why the taunt ability is very useful, because the taunt ability literally increases the aggro of a certain character, and that is why all the enemies literally gets attracted to that person. So most tanks have a taunt ability. They use the taunt ability, increase their aggro, and all the enemies attack them. While the other fighters, they deal with the enemies during that time. Like these kind of things. So yeah, and he tanks and he uses taunt on them, and they attack him, and all the others deal with them. And you can see Song is like, damn, these guys actually have been doing this for a while. And then he thinks, which makes it even weirder, because seeing them and seeing the way they fight, you can see how good teamwork they have. Since they have this good teamwork, they have been doing this for a long time, and since they have been doing this for a long time, it's a big red flag to see that they don't have two members. Why do they not have two members? If they've been fighting along with each other for such a long time, they should have a full team. you know like, just think about it. Like, if you are fighting, if you're playing a game for like 2 or 3 years or something, just think about it. In no way will you not have friends in the game. However, how much, like, loner you are doesn't matter. If you're doing something for like 3 years, even if you're like a lone wolf, you'll definitely meet some people in the game, especially in MMOs and stuff like that, and you'll have contact with people. I usually don't contact other players, and I prefer to play solo in most games, especially when I play MMOs. And even someone like me know, like, when I played a particular MMO, I knew some people in the game, literally by playing the game for a long time. You're bound to meet people who's going to talk to you, and you'll reply back to them. And this is obviously real life, this isn't a game. So it's weird that they have been doing this for so long and they don't have a full team, which is extremely weird. And that's why he's like, what the hell is happening? And also another weird thing is that they don't have a healer. Like, why do they not have a healer if they've been doing this for such a long time? So everything's like giving off red flags. And like, Sung is like, all right, like, I'll keep an eye out for this. So they take care of the enemies, and there you go. So after that, they go. Before we move on with that, we see this guy, the S ranker guy. I forgot his name. He's training. He's in his gym doing his self training, and he literally breaks like a rock. And he's like, ah, wasn't even a warm up. And he probably does that every single day. He probably brings in a rock and he like punches the rock and destroys it. It's probably part of his daily training routine. But anyways, he's like, yeah, this isn't fun. Like, it's like, that wasn't even a warm up. Right. Either way, later on we get to see Song and the group is like going, forward, and he tells this guy, like, the other guy, he's like, something's weird. Like, these people, they're a little bit suspicious. We need to keep our eyes peeled. And then they come across like a section where there's like silk or whatever, like webs, and they are like, all right, the final boss must be inside. As they keep moving on and on, they come across a lot of mana stones, and they're like, damn, these are a lot. And they're like, yeah, if we use, like, if we get these, we will probably get at least 1 billion from this. And if we like just like divide them into 7, each will get at least 100 million or something like that. They're like calculating in their head. And obviously they said like 7 parts because they excluded Sung. And that is when he's like, his new friend, the other guy, he's like, oh, can you please give the contract? And he looks at the contract and he's like, all right, you know what, in this contract it's not written anything about the mana stones. It's only written the materials that the enemies drop won't be shared with him. So I think he should also get a part of it. And this guy, the team leader, he's like, yeah, definitely, yeah, sure, like, like, yeah, but it's after later on. Like, for now we have to deal with the final boss. Like, we'll definitely share it evenly among sides, like, among each other. And he has like this big smile in his face. Another red flag. Bruh. Anyways, and he's like, yeah, we need to take care of this. And then they start their plan. They're like, oh, bring out the things that we'll use to carry these. And one of the teammates, they're like, oh, we didn't know there were so many mana crystals, so we've kept it back in, like, outside. We'll have to go and take it with us. So they're like, yeah, you know what, we'll just quickly go and get it, you guys stay here. Good God. And yeah, obviously, Sung immediately realized these guys are completely shady, and these guys are a full, like, and he's like, the other his friend is like, but this is the boss room, like we're just going to stay here. And he's like, yeah, yeah, don't worry, he's sleeping, it's fine, like it's just belly's probably full, he's not going to wake up anytime soon, so we'll just go get it and quickly come back, don't worry, just stay here. And yep, there you go, they leave and they trap them inside there. Obviously these people are people who traps people, and probably, like, gets their help, kills them like this, and probably loots them out of all their materials and stuff. All the armor, the weapons they have, they probably get them as well. It's basically a crime that they're committing every single time. And Sung remembers, like he was told that by Kim, I think, or was it Kim? Who I forgot. I always forget this guy's name. Um, he's either Song or he's Kim, either of them. But he remembers that, and he's like, yeah, these are one of those guys. So, and the worst situation happens, the spider awakens. And like I said, this guy is pretty nice, like he, even though he sees the situation and he's in a very bad situation as well, he knows he cannot win against this. He still tries to, like, shield Song, and he's like, oh, keeps like, stay behind me, like I'll try to protect you as much as I can, because obviously he thinks that he's an E ranker, and he's the one who has the better gear, the better weapons and better armor. So he feels like a responsibility to, help him and defend him. However, this is Sung we're talking about. He is a level 18 player, and he is like a has a lot of things, a lot of good weapon, like that weapon that he got from before. He even has like 50 points in strength, a very strong, like, person. And yeah, so don't have to worry about him. It'll be a difficult battle probably, because he's a C rank boss. Still, I'm sure he can handle him. And like I said, his dagger is a broken weapon completely. Like, it's, as far as I can remember, in the previous episode we saw his dagger literally has a debuff which inflicts bleed in the enemy that takes out like 1 HP every second or something like that, which is so broken. I don't know how this is going to even work, because just imagine, like, it's a passive damage that he's constantly dealing every second by just attacking the enemy. The enemy is just going to bleed out, and the bleed, like, like the intensity is quite high. So yeah, like, let's see. I feel like his weapon is just so cracked. His weapon is so cracked, and he himself is so strong as well. So let's see how this goes. I'm sure he can handle it. And I can't wait to see how the other guys, when they'll come in expecting them to have died, how they'll react to this and what will happen. So let's wait and see. So that is it. That was my reaction to this episode number 5 of Solo Leveling. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below. Anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, I'll check them out. And that is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Solo Leveling. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.